Item. On the 24th, a small insinuative enema to soften, moisten, and refresh the bowels of Mr. Argan. What I like about Mr. Florent, my apothecary, is his bills have such a poetic flair to them. All the same, Mr. Florent, it is not enough to be poetic. You must also be reasonable and not take advantage of the sick. 9 francs for an enema. Elsewhere, you've only charged me 6 francs. Therefore, I will pay you 3. Plus 1 franc for your poetic craft. Item. On the said day, in the evening, a syrup, hepatic, soporiferous, and somniferous, delightful words, intended to promote the sleep of Mr. Argan, 10 francs. It was a good sleep. Not quite worth 10 francs. I'd say it was a sleep worth 5 francs. Item. On the 26th, an enema to cure the flatulence of Mr. Argan. Mr. Florent, if you go on like this, no one will wish to be unwell. Your poetry would have been useful here. 3 francs. Item. A potion, cordial and preservative, composed of 12 grains of bezoar, syrup of citrons and pomegranates, and other ingredients according to the prescription, 25 francs. What are these mysterious other ingredients? 20 francs, until you are more forthright. During this month, I have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mixtures, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 enemas. And last month, there were 12 mixtures and 20 enemas. No wonder I'm not as well this month as last. I shall speak to Dr. Pergana about they may set the matter right. Come, let this all be taken away. Nobody. I'm always left alone. No one. They don't hear, my bell doesn't make enough noise. Toinette! It's just didn't ring at all. You wretch!
Father, your impatience! You hurry me so much that I hurt my head!
You listen! There is for the last time, you have left me. Be silent, you baggage, and let me scold you!
The pain!
You make me yell until my throat is sore!
And you! You made me bruise my arm. One is just as bad as the other. So, we are even.
What? You hussy! To leave me, you would... What? Shall I have the pleasure of scolding you?
That may be the best medicine for your sore throat, sir.
Take these away. Be sure to have some broth ready for the other medication I have to take soon.
This Mr. Florent and Dr. Pergan amuse themselves finely with your body. They have a gold mine in you, I must say. And I should like them to tell me what disease it is you have for them to milk so much money out of you.
Hold your tongue, simpleton. Ah, my daughter Angelique. I have news for her. But first things first, I have important business to attend to. Give me my walking stick.
Yes, sir. Quickly. Mr. Florent gives us plenty to do. Toinette! What? Toinette! Well, what? Oh, him. Not just any him. My Cleante. You've spouted on about him for the past 6 days. 3 times to me just today. But I know you run well unless you mention him at every turn, so gush away. I acknowledge that I am never weary of speaking of him, and that I take advantage of every moment I have to open my heart to you. But tell me, Toinette, Do you blame me for these feelings I have towards him?
Not at all.
Am I wrong in giving way to these sweet emotions?
I don't say that you are.
And would you have me insensible to the tender protestations of ardent love which he shows me?
What have you been reading?
Tell me, do you not see his heart is connected destiny in the unexpected adventure from which our meeting originated?
Certainly.
Do you not think, Juana, that he is very handsome?
Yes.
He has the best manners in the world.
No doubt about it.
There is always something noble in what he says and what he does.
Absolutely.
That there never was anything more tender than all he says to me.
True.
Tell me, Juana, do you think that he loves me as much as he says he does?
Of course.
Oh, Juana, I'm so full of joy I may burst.
If you must burst, please do it elsewhere, as I have just finished cleaning here.
Angelique, I have a piece of news for you. Your hand has been asked of me in marriage. You are smiling. It is pleasant, is it not, that word of marriage? There is nothing so delightful for young girls. So from what I can see, there's no need of me asking you if you are willing to marry.
I ought to obey you in everything, Father.
I'm pleased with your attitude. Your stepmother wanted me to make a nun of you and her little cheerleader's bluey song.
Ah, no doubt the creature has her reason.
She would not consent to this marriage, but it is not for her to say, and my word is given.
I am pleased with you for that, and it is the wisest thing you have ever done in your life.
I have not met the person in question, but I am told that I should be satisfied with him, and that you too will be satisfied.
Oh, most certainly, Father.
Here's your attitude. What has come over you lately? Going about singing merrily and happily agreeing to marry a man you haven't even seen yet?
Since your consent to our marriage authorizes me to open my heart to you, I will not hide from you that fate made us acquainted 6 days ago.
You did not tell me that, but I'm glad it happened. You said he's a well-made young fellow.
Yes, Father.
Fine elocution.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Cheerful.
Certainly.
Of a good family.
Quite.
With very good manners.
Oh, the best possible.
And he speaks both Latin and Greek.
He does.
And he will in 3 days be made a doctor.
A doctor?
Yes, did he not tell you?
No. Who told you?
Dr. Pergon.
Does Dr. Pergon know him?
What a question. Of course he knows him since he's his nephew.
Cleante is the nephew of Dr. Pergon?
Cleante? We are speaking about him who has asked of you in marriage.
Yes, of course.
Well, Tomas Diafuades, your future husband, is the nephew of Dr. Pergon, and the son of his twin brother, Dr. Diafuades. Tomorrow this future son-in-law will be brought to me by his father, and what is the matter? You look pale.
It's because, Father, I see you have been speaking of one person, and I have another. Excuse me, Father, I suddenly feel very ill.
What? With all the wealth you possess, you wish to marry your daughter to a doctor?
What business is it of yours, you impudent floozy?
Gently, gently. Can we not reason together without getting into a rage? What reason have you, if you please, for such a marriage?
My reason is that seeing myself infirm and sick, I wish to have a son-in-law and relatives who are doctors, so they may assist me in my illness, and to have access to those remedies which are necessary to me, and to be within reach of consultations and prescriptions.
Do you really and truly believe that you are ill?
Believe that I'm ill? You rogue! Believe that I'm ill? You fiend!
Very well then. You are very ill. I agree with you upon that point. More ill even than you think. But is it fair of you to require her to marry a doctor for your sake?
A good daughter ought to be delighted to marry for the sake of her father's health.
May I, as a friend, give you a piece of advice?
What is this advice?
Not to follow through with this match.
And your reason?
She will not consent to the marriage.
My daughter will not consent to it?
No,
My daughter?
your daughter. She will tell you she has no need of this Dr. Diafuades, nor of his son, Dr. Tomas Diafuades, nor all the Diaforces in the world.
But I have need of them. Besides, the match is more advantageous than you think. Dr. Diafuades has only the son for his heir. And moreover, Dr. Pergon, who has a wife your child, gives all he has in favor of this marriage. And Dr. Pergon is a man worth 100,000 francs a year.
100,000 francs?
That is not including the property of Dr. Diafuades.
That is all very well, sir. But I advise you, between ourselves, to choose another husband for her. She is not the type to become a Mrs. Diaforex.
But I will have it so.
Don't speak like that.
Don't speak like that, why not?
Dear me, no, don't.
And why should I not speak like that?
People will say you don't know what you're talking about.
People say all they like. I tell you, I'll have her make my promise good.
I feel sure she won't.
Then I'll force her to marry him.
She will not, I tell you.
She will. I will shut her up in a convent.
You will not shut her up in a convent.
No?
No.
Who will stop me?
You yourself.
Myself?
You will never have the heart to do it.
Oh, I shall.
You are joking.
I am not joking.
Fatherly love will stop you.
No, it won't.
A little tear or two, her arms thrown about your neck, or my darling little papa said so tenderly, will be enough to touch your heart.
All that will be useless.
I know you well enough. You are naturally kind-hearted.
I am not kind-hearted. And I am bad-tempered when I like.
Gently, sir. You forget you are ill.
I command her to prepare herself to take the husband I have chosen for her.
Oh, and I forbid her of doing anything of the kind.
What have we come to? What boldness is this for a servant to speak in such a way to her master?
When a master does not consider what he is doing, a sensible servant should set him right.
Impudent girl.
It is my duty to oppose what would be a dishonor to you.
Come here, let me teach you how to speak.
Please, sir. Your sore throat.
What is all the fuss?
Ah, come near, my wife.
Oh, what is it, my poor dear
Come
husband?
to my aid.
What ails you?
Oh, my love.
My love.
She just put me in a rage.
What did she do to you, my own dear pet?
Toinette has grown more insolent than ever.
Oh, now, there. Don't excite
She
yourself.
has been thwarting me for the last hour about everything I want to do.
Never mind.
And has had the impudence to say that I am not ill.
She is an impertinent hussy.
Ah, you know my soul what the truth is.
Yes, my dear, she is wrong.
Oh, my own dear, that trial will be the death of me.
Now, don't.
She is the cause of all my fury.
Don't make yourself so angry.
I have asked you ever so many times to send her away.
Alas, there is no servant without their defects. We must put up on it with their bad qualities on account of their good ones. The girl is skillful, careful, diligent, and above all, she's honest. Toinette! And you know in our days, so we must be careful about who we bring into our home. Toinette! Toinette!
Madame?
Explain yourself. What have you done to upset him?
I, madame? Alas, I don't know what you mean, and my only aim is to please my master in everything.
Deceitful girl!
He told me he wished to marry his daughter to the son of Dr. Diaforex. I told him I thought the match very advantageous for her, but that he would do better to shut her up in a convent.
No, there's not much harm in that, and I do think she is right.
Dearie, do you believe her? She is a vile girl and said 100 insolent things to me.
Now come. I believe you. Compose yourself a little. And you, Toinette, you listen to me. If you make my husband angry ever again, I shall send you away. Now bring me his pillows that I may make him more comfortable on the sofa. Pull that nightcap down over your ears. There's nothing that gives people such bad colds as letting air in through the ears.
Oh, dearie, how much obliged I am to you for all the care you take of me.
Now raise yourself up so that I can put this pillow behind you, and this pillow for you to lean upon, and this pillow for you to put your head upon.
And this pillow to keep you from the evening chill.
Villain! You will smother me!
Now, what is it?
I can hold out no longer.
But why do you fly into such a fit? She thought she was doing right.
You don't know, darling, the wickedness of that villainous baggage. She's altogether upset me. And I should need more than 8 different mixtures and 12 injections to remedy the evil.
Now, my dear, compose yourself a little.
Oh, lovey, you're my only consolation.
Poor little head.
To repay you for all the love you have for me, my darling, I shall, as I told you, make my will.
Oh, Lucas, do not speak to me of such things. I cannot even bear to think of it. And the word will makes me die of grief.
I had asked you to speak to our notary about it.
Oh, I have. He is in the hallway waiting to speak with you.
Oh, make him come in then, my life.
Oh, when a woman loves her husband so much, she finds it almost impossible to think of such things.
Come, Mr. de Bonfoy. My wife tells me, sir, that you're a very honest man and one of her friends. I therefore asked her to speak to you about a will which I wish to make.
Alas, I cannot speak of such things.
She has fully explained to me your intentions, sir, and what you mean to do for her. But I have to tell you that you can give nothing to your wife by will.
Why not?
It is against custom. If you're in a district where statute law prevailed, the thing could be done, but in Paris, it cannot be done. And the will be held void. The only settlement man and wife can make on each other is by mutual donation while they are alive, and even then, there can be no children from either that marriage or any previous marriage at the decease of the person who dies.
It's a very impertinent custom that a husband can leave nothing to a wife whom he loves, by whom he is tenderly loved, and who takes so much care of him. Pray, tell me, sir, what I can do to give her my portion and deprive my children of it.
What you can do? You can discreetly choose a friend of your wife's to whom you will give all you own in due time by your will, and that friend will give it up to her afterwards. Or else you can send a great many safe bonds in favor of various creditors who will all lend their names to your wife, and in whose hands they will leave a declaration that what was done was only to serve her. You could also put in her hands ready money and bills to which you can make payable to bear.
Oh, do not speak to me of such things. If I were to lose you, I would be no longer in this world.
Oh, my darling.
Yes, my pet. If I were to lose you,
My dear wife.
life would be nothing to me.
Oh, my love.
And I would follow you to the grave to show you all the tenderness I feel for you.
Comfort yourself, I beseech you. You will break my heart, dearie.
Oh, these tears are premature. Things have not come to that yet.
Oh, sir, you do not know what it is to love a husband so tenderly.
Oh, all the regrets I shall have if I die, my darling, but I have no child from you. Dr. Argan told me you'd make me have one.
There is that possibility.
Still, I must make my will, darling, according to what this gentleman advises. But out of precaution, I will give you the 100,000 francs in gold which I have in the wainscoting of the recess of my room, plus 2 bills payable to bearer which are due to me, one from Mr. Damon, the other from Mr. Gerard.
Oh, do not speak to me of such things, I beseech you. How much did you say was in the recess?
100,000 francs, darling.
Oh, do not talk to me of your money, I cannot bear it. How much were the 2 bills for?
One, my love, is for 20,000 francs, the other for 30,000.
All the love, and all the wealth in the world, my love, is nothing compared to you.
Shall we draw up the will?
Yes, sir. But we must move to my studies. I have the relevant paperwork there. Help me, my love.
Come, my poor, dear husband.
They are shut up with the notary, and I heard something about a will. Your stepmother doesn't go to sleep. It is no doubt some conspiracy of hers against your interest to which she is urging your father.
Oh, let him dispose of his money as he likes, as long as he doesn't dispose of my heart in the same way.
Your stepmother tries to take me into her confidence and make me accept her interests, but it is in vain. I never could like her, and I've always been on your side. I will do everything I can to help you. But, in order to help you more effectively, I shall change my tactics, hide my wish to help you, and pretend to agree with your father and your stepmother.
Try, I beg you, to let Cleante know about the marriage they've decided upon.
I will. Today it is too late for that, but tomorrow morning early I will say... I am called away. Good night. Trust me.
soleil brille, brille, brille. Hello, chez toi l'amour t'attend. Là-bas, fuyant le monde, fait une blonde qui brode dans le vent. Hello, le soleil brille, brille, brille. Hello, tu reviendras, Johnny. Là-bas, où sont ta mère, ton bon vieux père et tous tes amis. Hello, le soleil brille, brille, brille. Hello, le lilas fleurira. Là-bas, dans ton Écosse, le jour des noces de ta sœur Anna. Accroche.
May I help you, sir? Cleante! What a surprise! What are you doing here?
To see the lovely Angelique, and to ask what she means to do about this fatal marriage of which I've been told.
I see. Your timing is not the best, but perhaps I can arrange for you to meet with her. It is not so easy to have a private audience with Angelique. You must not take useless precautions.
Therefore, I am not here as Cleante, nor as her lover, but as her music teacher's assistant. Believe my dove, have you seen my slippers? Here they are. Never mind.
There's her father. Withdraw a little and let me tell him who you are.
Dr. Argan told me to walk 12 times to and fro my room every morning, but I forgot to ask him whether it should be lengthwise or across.
Sir!
Ah! Speak in a lower tone, you tramp! You split my head open, and you forget that we should never speak so loud to sick people.
I wanted to tell you, sir.
Speak low, I tell you. Sir! What? What is it you say?
I say there is a gentleman here who wants to speak to you!
Ah, nay! Don't speak so loud, you'll burst my eardrums!
Sir!
Do not speak so loud,
For fear of splitting open the head of Mr. Argan!
Sir! I am delighted to find you up and to see you better.
What?
Better. It is false. Master is always ill.
I have heard that your master was better, and I do think he looks well in the face.
What do you mean he looks well in the face? He looks very bad indeed. And it is only impertinent folks who say he was better. He was never so ill in all his life.
She is right.
He walks, sleeps, eats, and drinks like other folks, but that does not hinder him from being very ill.
Quite true. I am heartily sorry for it, sir. I am sent by your daughter's music teacher. He had the opportunity to go to the country for a few days, and has asked me to take his place, and to go on with the lessons, for fear that if they were to be discontinued, she should forget what she has already learned. Very well. Call Angelique.
I think, sir, it would be better to take the gentleman to her room.
No, make her come here.
He cannot give her a good lesson if they are not left alone.
Why not?
The noise would disturb your delicate ears, and you should have nothing to bother you in the state of health.
No, no. I like music, and I should be glad to have her. Ah, here she is. Come, my daughter. Your music teacher has gone to the country, and here's a person he sent instead to give you your lesson.
Oh, heavens!
What is the matter? Well, speak up.
It is such a strange coincidence.
How so?
Last night, I dreamed I was in the greatest trouble imaginable. And someone exactly like this gentleman came to me. I asked him to help me, and presently he saved me from the great trouble I was in. My surprise was very great to meet unexpectedly on my coming here him of whom I had been dreaming all night.
It is no small happiness to occupy your thoughts, whether sleeping or waking. And my delight would be great indeed if you were in any trouble out of which you would deem me worthy of delivering you. There is nothing that I would not do.
Sir, Dr. Diaz-Juarez the father and Dr. Diaz-Juarez the son have arrived. I am of your opinion now and take back all that I said yesterday. What a fantastic son-in-law you shall have. You will see the best made young fellow in all the world, and the most intellectual. He said but 2 words to me, but I was struck with him. Your daughter will be—
Ow! Oh! Do not go, sir. My daughter's being married, and they just brought me to her husband, whom she has not as yet seen.
You do me great honor, sir, in wishing me to be witness of such a pleasant interview.
But I do have to go. He is the son of a clever doctor, and the marriage will take place in 4 days.
Indeed.
Please inform our music teacher that he may be at the wedding.
I will not fail to do so.
And I invite you also.
You do me too much honor.
Come! Make room. Here they are.
Dr. Bergon has forbidden me to uncover my head. You belong to the profession, so you understand what the consequence should be if I did so.
We are bound in all our visits to bring relief to invalids and not to injure them.
I
We
received
come
you
here,
with great
sir,
joy to
myself,
honor you,
Tomas, and
Judy.
myself,
And I wish I could have gone to your house to
the
assure you.
delight we are in.
But you know what it is, sir, the
so
poor
kindly
invalid.
admitting us
Who
to
can only
the
tell you
honor,
here
sir,
that
of
you will
your
seize
alliance,
every opportunity
and
to show you,
assure
sir,
yourself
that he is
everything
entirely
in your powers
at
to
your
show our
service.
Tomas, come forward and pay your respects.
Shall I begin with the father?
Yes!
Sir! I come to salute, cherish, and revere you as a second father. A second father I owe more, I make bold to say, than to my first. My first father gave me life, but you have chosen me. He has received me out of necessity, but you have accepted me by choice. What I have from him is of the body, corporeal. What I hold from you is of the will, voluntary. As the mental faculties are above the corporeal, in so much more do I hold precious this future relationship, in which I hope to bring you my most humble and sincere congratulations.
What wonderful colleges to send such clever people into the world.
Has this been said to your satisfaction, Father?
Optime disputasi.
Come, bow to this gentleman.
Shall I kiss her?
Yes! Yes!
Madam, it is with justice that heaven has given you the name of stepmother, since we see in you steps towards the perfect beauty which you will someday obtain.
It is not to my wife, but to my daughter that you are speaking.
Oh. Oh. Where is she?
She will soon come.
Father, shall I wait till she comes?
No! Go through with your compliments to the young lady in the meantime!
Madam, as the statue of Mammon gave forth a harmonious sound as it was struck by the first rays of the sun, in like manner do I experience a sweet rapture at the apparition of this sun of your beauty. As the naturalists remark that the flower styled heliotrope always turns toward the star of day, so too will my heart forever turn towards the resplendent stars of your adorable eyes, as to its only pull.
Kneel!
Suffer me then, madam,
Kneel!
to make on this day an offering upon your charms of a heart which longs for and is ambitious of no greater glory, madam, than to be your most humble, your most grateful, your most obedient, your most grateful, your most obedient servant and husband.
Behold the effects of great study and how one learns to say such fine things.
Well, what do you have to say to that?
The gentleman does wonders. If he is as good a doctor as he is an orator, it would be most pleasant to be one of his patients.
Certainly, it would be most admirable if his cures were as wonderful as his speeches.
Come, here, my daughter. You see, sir, that everybody admires your son. And you're very fortunate to be the father of such a fine young man.
There are many reasons to be satisfied with him. And I'm not just saying that because I'm his father. All who meet him say he is a youth with the greatest candor. He doesn't have a very lively imagination, nor that sparkly wit which is found in others. But the lack of those qualities make him all the better. As a child, it was difficult to teach him to read, and he was 9 years old before he learned his letters. A good omen, I used to say to myself. Trees of slow growth bear the best fruit. We engrave it on marble with much more difficulty than on sand, but the results are longer lasting. And that dullness of expression is the mark of a sound judgment in the future. When I sent him away to college, he found it hard work, but he stuck to his duty. In short, he at last succeeded gloriously in obtaining his degree. And I can say, without vanity, to this day there is no candidate who argues more loudly than he in all the disputations of our school. He is firm in dispute, never changes his opinion, and pursues an argument to the last. Recesses of logic. But above all things which make me proud to be his father, it is this. He is unequivocally attached to the opinions of the classical doctors. He doesn't let the newfound nonsense or pretend discoveries of our century sway him from his principles, and he never listens to or understands their so-called reasons and experiences.
I have upheld a thesis against these impostors, which, with the permission of this gentleman, he's gone. With the permission of this gentleman, I venture to present to the young lady the first fruits of my genius.
Oh, it is useless to me, sir. I do not understand these things.
Never mind! Give it to us anyway. It will be of use. In the attic.
With the permission of your father, I invite you one of these days to come and amuse yourself by assisting me with the dissection of a woman, upon whose body I am to give lectures.
The treat will be most welcome. There are some who take their lady love to the theater, but a dissection is much more gallant.
Moreover, in respect to the qualities required for marriage, I assure you he is all you could ask for. And that his children will be strong and healthy.
Sir, please, have my daughter seen before the company.
I was waiting for you to ask, sir. And I propose to amuse the company that I should sing with the young lady an operetta which has recently come out.
Ooh.
There's your part.
Oh, mine?
Oh, the verse is pretty.
It is nothing but a small extempore opera. And what you'll hear is some sort of rhythmical prose and or irregular verse.
Very well. Let us hear.
The scene is as follows.
Tircis, a young shepherd, is diligently watching his sheep when he is disturbed by a noise close to him. Upon turning around, he sees a scoundrel who, with insolent language, is annoying Felice, a young shepherdess. After chastising the brute for his insolence, he comes to the young shepherdess to comfort her. She has the most beautiful eyes he has ever beheld. She is shedding tears the most precious in all the world. Alas, says he to himself, Is there anybody capable of insulting such charms? He endeavors to stop those beautiful tears, and the young shepherdess takes this opportunity to thank him for the service that he has rendered her. But she does it in a manner so touching, so tender, so passionate, that the young shepherd can't resist it. And each word, each look is a burning shaft which penetrates his heart. Is there anything worthy of such things? No! As he leaves her, he carries away with him love, which has the strength and passion to last many years. He feels the pangs of absence and is tormented to be parted from her. He tries to see her again, but the guards watching over the shepherdess deprive him of doing so. The violence of his passion urges him to ask her to marry him in a letter, which she accepts in a responding letter. But he is told in the meantime that her father has promised her to another, and the preparations are being made for the wedding. Oh, what a cruel wound for the heart of that poor shepherd! Behold, he is suffering from this mortal blow. He cannot bear to see her in another's arms.
I don't blame him.
He finds a way to sneak into her house, to ask her feelings, and to hear what fate he must expect. And there, he sees the unworthy rival stand triumphant near the shepherdess, as if assured of his conquest. This sight fills Tircis with wrath he can hardly stand. He looks despairingly at her, but in the presence of her father is unable to speak except with his eyes. Breaking through all restraints, the passion of his love forces him to speak as follows. Beautiful face, this is too much to bear. Oh, break your heart silent and tell me the truth. And tell me what is my fate. Shall I live or shall I die? How about that? I'm surprised that they're so clever to sing from a book with no hesitation. Alas, beautiful face, and shall your dearest lover kisses? Shall I know happiness? Shall I have what place in your heart? opera, and I don't wish to spoil it. What do you believe he should say?
Felice should certainly have Chersis. Indeed, have him put away, that is. No! Chersis is an impertinent fellow. The shepherdess Felice an impudent girl to speak that way in the presence of her father. Opera like that is very tasteless. Show me that paper. Oh. Aha! And what is this you just saw? There's only the music. Where are the words?
Are you not aware, sir, that the writing of the words and the music together has only been recently invented?
Has it now? Then perhaps you interpret the words of this little song of mine. Oh!
What's all the noise in here?
Ah, believe my dove. Here's the son of Dr. Diafuades.
Madame, it is with justice that heaven has given you the name of stepmother, since we see in you small steps towards the perfect beauty you will someday obtain.
Sir, I am so happy to have come here just in time to see you.
Which you will someday. Madam, you have interrupted me in the middle of my speech and have troubled my memory!
Save it for another time.
Oh, my love, how I wish you'd been here just now.
Madame, how much you have missed. The second father, the statue of Memnon, and the flower-styled heliotrope.
Come, my daughter, shake hands with this gentleman and accept his offer of marriage.
Father,
What do you mean, my father?
I beseech you not to be in such a hurry. Give us time to become acquainted with each other and to see if the love necessary for a perfect union grows in us.
Madam, it is already fully grown in him. There is no occasion to wait.
I am not so quick, sir, and I must confess that his merit has not yet made enough impression on my heart.
Oh, nonsense. There'll be time enough for the impression to be made after you are married.
Oh, my darling little papa. Give me time, I beseech you.
Toinette.
Marriage is a chain which should never be imposed by force. And if this gentleman is truly a man of honor, he ought not to marry a woman who would be his only by force.
Nego consequentia. I can be a man of honor, madam, and at the same time accept you from the hands of your father.
Such actions are hardly the way to inspire love.
We learned from the ancients, madam, that it was their custom to carry off maidens from their fathers' houses, so they would not fall into the arms of impertinent fellows.
The ancients, sir, are the ancients, but we are the moderns. When a marriage pleases us, we know very well how to go about it without being dragged by force. Have a little patience. You love me, sir. You want to do what I wish?
Of course, madam, but without prejudice towards the interests of my love.
But the greatest mark of love is to submit to the will of her who is love.
It is in vain for you to argue.
If I were you, my love, I would not force her to marry. I know very well what I would do.
I understand what you mean, madam, and how kind you are to me. But it would be best if your advice would not be followed.
That is because well-brought children like you fail to be obedient to the wills of their fathers. Obedience used to be important in former times.
The duty of a daughter has its limits.
Which means you are not willing to go with your father in that which is most important. You would choose a husband for yourself.
If my father will not give me a husband I like, I at least ask him not to force me to marry one I can never love.
Gentlemen, I beg your pardon for all this.
We each have our own reasons for marrying. I only want a husband that I can love sincerely. And since I intend to dedicate my entire life to him, I feel bound to be cautious. There are those who marry simply to free themselves from the reign of their parents and to be at liberty to do all they like. There are others who marry for their own self-interest, who marry simply to gain a settlement and to obtain wealth by the death of those they married. They pass without thought from husband to husband with all their love fixed on their possessions. These women, no doubt, care little for their husbands.
What a strange monologue. I wonder what you mean by it.
What can I mean but what I say?
You are such a simpleton, my dear, that one can hardly bear with you.
You mean to extract from me some rude answer, but you will not have the pleasure of doing so.
Nothing can equal your impertinence.
It is of no use, you will not.
And you have a ridiculous pride and an impertinent presumption, which makes you the scorn of everybody.
All this will be useless. I shall remain quiet in spite of you. And to take away from you all hope of succeeding in what you wish, I shall withdraw from your presence.
Then listen to me. Either you will marry this gentleman, or I will show you the convent. You have 4 days to consider. Don't worry, I will make her see reason.
I'm sorry to leave you, my love, but I must go to town on some important business. I shall be back soon.
Ah, go, my darling. Call upon the notary. And tell him to be quick about, you know what.
Goodbye, my love.
Ah, goodbye, dearie. How much a woman loves me. It's perfectly incredible.
We now take leave of you, sir.
Just a moment, sir. I beg of you. Tell me how I am.
Ah, yes, of course. Tomas. Now, take the other arm of the gentleman so that I may see whether or not you can form a correct judgment on his pulse. Quid decease?
Decode that the pulse of this gentleman is the pulse of a man who is not well.
Good.
That it is duriasculus, not to say durus.
Oh, very well.
Irregular,
Bene.
and even a little capricant,
Oh, optime.
which speaks of an intemperance in the splenetic parenchyma, which is to say, the spleen.
Quite right.
Well, that cannot be, for Dr. Bergon says my litter wish is out of order.
Dr. Pergon, certainly he who suggests parenchyma suggests both one and the other. Because of the similarities which exist between them by means of the vas breve, the pylorus, and the meatus culedici. He, no doubt, orders you to eat plenty of roast meat.
No, nothing but boiled meat.
Ah, yes, roast or boiled, it is all the same. I assure you that you could not have fallen into better hands.
Sir, tell me, how many grains of salt I ought to put to an egg?
Yes, 6, 8, 10s by even numbers. Just as medicines by odd numbers.
Thank you, sir. I hope soon to have the pleasure of seeing you again.
Before I go, I must inform you of something. While I was passing by Angelique's door, I saw with her a young man who was as soon as he noticed me.
A young man? My daughter?
Yes, your little girl who waits on, she will tell you all about it because she was with them.
Send her here, Toinette. Send her here at once. Brazen-faced girl.
What do you want, Papa?
Yes, come here. Come nearer. Turn around. Hold up your head and look right at me. Well,
What?
so,
What?
have you nothing to say to me?
Yes, I will. To amuse you. To tell you, if you like, the story of the elephant's skin, or the fable of the fox and the crow, which I have learned lately.
That is not what I want of you.
What is it then?
Clever little girl, you know very well what I mean.
No, indeed, Papa.
Is this how you obey me?
What, Papa?
I'm going to ask you at once to tell me all you see.
Yes, Papa.
Have you done so?
Yes, Papa. I always come and tell you all I see.
And have you seen nothing today?
No, Papa.
No?
No, Papa.
Quite sure?
Quite sure.
Indeed. Perhaps a swell on your wrist will help you remember.
Papa!
You did not tell me you saw a man in your sister's room.
Papa!
This will teach you.
My dear Papa, please forgive me. My sister asks me to say anything to you, but I will tell you everything.
First, you must have a flogging for having told the truth. Then we will see to the rest.
Forgive me, Papa. Forgive me.
No, no.
My dear Papa, don't whip me.
Yes, You shall be whipped.
Don't whip me, Papa. I'm dead.
How now? My son! Heaven! My child! Wretched father! Wretched father! Wretched father! What have I done, my poor child, my dear little Louison?
Come, dear Papa. Don't weep so. You're not so dead after all.
Away, Sabbath thing!
There, Papa. I'm off to play.
Wait a minute! You haven't told me about the man!
Oh, yes.
Be sure you take great care, for here is my little finger that knows everything, and it will tell me if you do not speak the truth.
But, Papa, please don't tell Angelique that I told you.
I won't.
Papa, a young man came into Sister's room while I was there.
Well?
I asked him what he wanted. He said that he was her music teacher's assistant.
I see. Yes?
Then Sister came.
Go on.
She said to him, please go, you'll drive me to despair.
And then?
He would not go away.
What did he say to her?
Oh, ever so many things.
Yes, but what?
He told her that he loved her dearly and that she was the most beautiful person in the world.
And then?
Then he knelt down before her.
And?
Then he kept on kissing her hands.
And?
Then stepmama came to the door, and he escaped.
Nothing else?
No, dear Papa.
No? Oh? Oh! Oh, my little finger has something to say. Oh? Yes? Oh. Oh, my little finger says there is something you saw which you do not tell me.
Papa, your little finger, the storyteller.
Are you sure?
Don't believe him. He's telling stories, I assure you.
Well, we shall see. Go away now. Be sure to pay great attention to everything you see. Children are taking up all of my time. I haven't had enough leisure to attend to my illness.
How are you?
Very bad, Harold. Very bad.
You still sick?
Oh, no one will believe how very feeble I am.
You know, when I feel under the weather, I pick up a tennis racket and I take it out on my opponent.
Tennis? I have hardly enough strength to speak.
Oh, come, Argan. You'd love it. Come with me next week and I'll teach you the basics. It'll take your mind off your bad health.
How insensitive of you to suggest that I forget my infirmities. They cannot be dismissed just like that.
You know, one cannot but help think. They've become your pets, and you've grown rather fond of them. Do they have names, these little infirmities of yours?
If you come here to insult me...
Oh, pardon me, brother. I hear you found a husband for my niece Angelique.
Don't speak to me of that wicked, good-for-nothing, insolent, brazen-faced girl. I'll report the convict before 4 days are over.
Marvelous. It's good to see you have some strength left, so you still have some fire in you.
A little, perhaps. But this is the time of day that my humors are out of balance. Mr. Florent will be shortly to aid with that. I need to go meet with him now. I'll be back with him.
We must prevent this foolish marriage from happening. You said you had a plan.
I have enlisted a doctor to help us.
A doctor? Don't we have enough of those running around ruining everything?
This doctor is a good fellow who knows what we want to achieve. He'll help Master Argan see how disgusting his dear Dr. Argan is. But for this to work, you need to trust him and play your part.
Of course.
Right this way, sir.
Here's our man. Here, sir. You forget you cannot get around without your walking stick.
I did not forget. It was misplaced, and I could not find it. It is most horrible for me to walk without it. So, sister, what do you want to talk about?
Before we talk, let us agree that you will not excite yourself during our conversation.
Of course.
And that you will not respond in anger to anything I might say?
Very well.
Let us reason together without irritation.
Dear me, what a preamble.
Brother, how is it that with all the wealth you possess and only one daughter currently eligible for marriage, you speak of putting her into a convent?
How is it, sister, that I am master of my family and I cannot do all I see fit?
Your wife advises you to get rid of your two daughters. I have no doubt she would be charmed to see them both made into nuns.
Oh, I see. My poor wife again. It is she who does all the harm and everybody is against her.
All right, let's not speak of her just now, but only of your daughter. What is your reason for wishing to give her away in marriage to a doctor?
My reason is that I wish I have a son-in-law who will attend to my medical needs.
That is not what she requires, and we have a much more suitable match.
Perhaps, but this one is more suitable for me.
Does she marry a husband for herself or for you, brother?
Her husband will take care of us both, sister, and I wish to bring into my family people who can be helpful.
If Louison were old enough, would you give her away to this apothecary?
Why not?
Oh, why are you so infatuated with apothecaries and doctors and so determined to be ill despite men and nature?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, brother, that I know of no one who is less sick than you. One great proof that you're well is that you haven't died of all the medication they've made you swallow.
Are you aware, sister, that these medicines which keep me in good health? Dr. Argan says it would be dire if I were to miss a dose.
If you are not careful, Dr. Progon will take such good care of you that he'll soon send you into another world.
Don't you believe at all in medicine?
No, brother, I do not, and I do not see why it is essential to my salvation that I believe in that.
What? Do you not hold true a thing acknowledged by everybody and revered throughout all ages?
Between ourselves, I see it as one of the greatest follies to exist among men. I cannot think of a more absurd piece of mummery, anything more ridiculous than one man taking it upon himself to cure another.
Why would you not believe that a man can cure another?
Simply, brother, because the springs of our machines are mysteries of which men are as yet completely in the dark, and nature has laid too thick a veil over our eyes to do anything about it.
Well, then according to you, the doctors know nothing at all.
Oh, most of them know something of the great classics, can speak fine Latin, can give Greek names to diseases, and can distinguish and define them, but as to curing those diseases, that's out of the question.
Still, you must agree to this, that doctors know more than others.
No, what I have told you, and that does not lead to very many cures. All the excellency of their art consists of pompous babbling and gibberish, which gives you words instead of reasons and promises instead of results, and in return, you give them your will.
Then what is to be done when one is ill?
Nothing, brother.
Nothing?
Nothing. Only rest. Nature, if we leave her free, will gradually restore herself from the disorders to which she has fallen. It is our impatience, our anxiety that leads to mischief. More men die of their remedies than they do of their diseases.
All the knowledge of the world is contained in your brain, sister. And you think you know more than all the great doctors of our age put together.
Great doctors. If you weigh words and actions, your great doctors are two kinds of people. If you listen to them speak, they are the cleverest men in the world. See them in action, and they're the most ignorant. No, I'm only trying to restore you from the error into which you have fallen. Let's go see a play by Moliere on the subject.
Your Moliere is an impertinent fellow with his comedies. I think it's dastardly of him to go and invalidate honest people like doctors.
Oh, it's not the doctors he invalidates, but the absurdity of medicine.
Oh, he's quite the simpleton to laugh at consultations and prescriptions, to attack the body of physicians, and bring into stage such venerable people as those gentlemen.
What would you have him bring to the stage but the professions of men? Kings and princes are brought there every day, and they are as good a stock as your physicians.
If I were a physician, I would be angry at his impertinence. And when he falls ill, I would let him die without relief. He would beg and pray in vain. I would not prescribe for him the least little bleeding, the least little injection, and I would tell him, die. Die like a dog. That will teach you to laugh at us, doctors.
To change the subject, allow me to tell you that just because Angelique does not agree to the marriage you propose, is no reason to shut her into convent. You ought to yield to the inclination of your daughter. After all the happiness of her married life depends on it.
Sister, please excuse us.
Why? What are you going to do?
Take this little enema. It will soon be done.
Oh, you're joking. Can't you do without enemas and needles and things for a moment? Just put it off for another time.
Mr. Florent, let it be for tomorrow morning.
What right do you have to interfere? How dare you oppose yourself to the prescription of the doctors and prevent this gentleman from taking my enema? You are an impertinent woman to show such boldness.
Please, you go right this instant. Out! No.
You want not thus to steer in positions and make me lose my best time. I will go and tell Dr. Burgon that I've been prevented from the execution of his duties, and that I've been stopped in the deliverance of my duty. You'll see!
It's easy to see he's not used to dealing with people face to face.
Gerald, what have you done?
Oh, what a tragedy not to take an enema prescribed by Dr. Burgon.
Sister.
Brother, is there no way to cure you of this disease that the doctors you contracted?
You speak as one who's quite well, but if you were in my place, you would speak differently. It is easy to speak against medicine when one is in perfect health.
What disease do you suffer from?
You will drive me to desperation. I should like you to have my disease, and then we should see if you would prate as you do.
Sir, Dr. Pergon is here.
I have just heard disturbing news. You laugh at my prescriptions and refuse to take the remedy which I ordered?
Sir, it is not...
What daring boldness! What a strange revolt of a patient against his doctor!
It is Fry.
An enema which I have had the pleasure of composing myself! Invented and made up according to all the rules of art!
He was wrong.
And which was to work such a marvelous effect on the intestines!
She.
To send it back with contempt!
But my sister...
Such conduct is monstrous!
So it is.
It is an outrage against medicine!
But my sister...
A crime of the high treason and one that cannot be too severely punished!
You are quite right.
I declare to you that I now break off all my dealings with you!
But it's my sister!
That I will have no more connection with you!
You will do quite right.
And to end my association with you, here is the deed of my nephew in favor of the marriage.
But it's my sister who's the cause of all the mischief!
To despise my enema!
Let it be brought up, take it directly!
I would have had you cured in a very short
He
time!
doesn't deserve it.
I was about to cleanse your body and rid it of its bad humors!
But my sister!
And it wanted only a dozen purgatives to cleanse it entirely!
He is unworthy of your care.
But since you would not be cured by me,
Not my fault!
since you have forsaken the obedience you owe to your doctor, since you have declared yourself a rebel to the remedies I have prescribed,
No, certainly not!
I now give you up to your bad constitution, to the intemperament of your intestines, to the corruption of your blood, to the acrimony of your bile, and to the feculence of your humors.
It serves you right.
Alas!
And I will have you in 4 days' time in an incurable state.
Mercy on me!
You shall fall into bradypepsia.
Dr. Pergon!
From bradypepsia into dyspepsia.
No!
From dyspepsia into apepsia.
Ah!
From apepsia into lientery.
No!
From lientery into dysentery.
Dr. Pergon!
And from dysentery into dropsy.
Dr. Pergon!
And from dropsy to the deprivation condition of life to which your folly will bring you.
If you wish to restore our confidence in you and receive our life-saving services again, you must repent of your wrongdoings through a public apology, and you must pay a 20% increase in all your bills. Good day.
20%? Oh, heaven! I am dead! Sister! You have undone me!
Brother, you're crazy. Give yourself a little shake. Beg of you, recover yourself. Oh,
You heard of that strange disease he threatened me?
you are such a foolish fellow.
He said I should become incurable within 4 days! Just the day of the wedding.
What is the significance in anything he has to say? Is he an oracle that has spoken? You would think Dr. Pergon holds the threads of your life in his hands and has the supreme authority to lengthen it out or cut it short according to his will. Brother, remember the springs of life are within you. All that the wrath of Dr. Pergon can do has less to do with making you die than his cures have of making you live. Really? This is an opportunity, brother, if you choose to take it, of letting go of your doctors and beginning to live again.
He heals my body better than anyone else. And the way to treat me.
I will acknowledge that you are greatly infatuated and you see the world with strange eyes.
Sir, there is a doctor here to see you.
What doctor?
A doctor of medicine.
What is his name?
I don't know who he is, but I must say his reflection looks like my own. If I was not sure that my mother was an honest woman, I would say he has a brother she never told me about.
One doctor leaves you, another comes to replace him.
Oh. I greatly fear that you will cause some misfortune.
Oh, brother, are you harping on that string again? Can you not give that a rest?
I have in my mind all those diseases that I don't understand.
Allow me, sir, to come and pay my respects to you, and to offer you my small services for all the bleedings and purgings you may require.
I'm at your service.
I beg you excuse me 1 moment, sir. I forgot to give a small order to my assistant.
Would you not say that this is really Toinette?
The resemblance certainly is striking, but we've seen such things in our time, and history is full of freaks of nature.
Well, for my part, I am astonished. I have never seen anything quite
What do you
like
want, sir?
What?
Did you not call me?
No.
My ears must have tingled then.
Just stop here 1 moment. Let us see how much that doctor is like you.
Yes, indeed. I have plenty of time to waste. Besides, I have seen enough of him already. Oh, I'm sorry to have bumped into you.
Had I not seen them both together? I should have believed it was one and the same person.
Well, I've read wonderful stories about such resemblances, and in our day we've seen some that have surprised everybody.
Well, I've never seen anything like it. And all I know is that if you're trying to play some kind of trick on me, I don't...
I beg your pardon, sir, with all my heart.
It is wonderful.
I hope you will not take amiss, sir, the curiosity I feel to see such an illustrious patient. And your reputation, which reaches the farthest ends of the world, must be my excuse for the liberty I am taking.
You oblige me greatly, sir.
I see, sir. You are looking earnestly at me. What age do you think I am?
I should say 26 or 27 at the utmost.
I am 90 years old.
90 years old?
I am an itinerant doctor. to travel from town to town, from province to province, from kingdom to kingdom, to seek out illustrious material for my abilities, and to find patients worthy of my care, capable of exercising the great and noble secrets which I have discovered in medicine. I don't bother to amuse myself with the small rubbish of common diseases, such as rheumatism, coughs, fevers, vapors, and headaches. I require diseases of importance, such as good non-intermittent fevers and delirium, good scarlet fevers, good plagues, good confirmed dropsies, good pleurisy with inflammation of the lungs. This is what I like, what I triumph in, and I wish, sir, that you had all these diseases combined and were at the point of death, and that all doctors had given up on you, so that I may show you the excellency of my remedies and the desire I have of doing you service.
I am much obliged to you, sir, for the kindness you have towards me.
Come, let me feel your pulse. Come, breathe properly, please. I will soon make you breathe as you should. Supposed to trifling with me. I see it does not know me yet. Who is your doctor?
Dr. Pergon.
That man is not noted among my books of the great doctors. What does he say you are ill of?
Well, he says it's the liver, and others say it's the spleen.
They are all a pack of ignorant blockheads. You are suffering from the lungs.
The lungs?
Yes, what do you feel?
At times I have great pains in my head.
Just so, the lungs.
From time to time it seems to have a mist before my eyes.
The lungs.
I feel sick now and then.
The lungs.
I feel sometimes a weariness in all my limbs.
The lungs.
Sometimes I have sharp pains in my stomach, as if I had the colic.
The lungs. Do you eat your food with appetite?
Yes, sir.
The lungs. Do you like to drink a little wine?
Yes, sir.
The lungs. Do you enjoy your meals and then willingly enjoy a nap?
Yes, sir.
The lungs, I tell you. What does your doctor order you to eat?
He orders me soup.
Half-wit.
Fowl.
Nincompoop.
Veal.
Fool!
Broth.
Imbecile!
New-laid eggs.
Buffoon!
And at night a few prunes to relax the bowels.
Ignoramus!
And above all, he tells me to drink my wine well diluted with water.
Ignorantum! You must drink your wine pure, and to thicken your blood, which is too thin, you must eat good fat beef, good fat pork, good Dutch cheese, some gruel, rice puddings, chestnuts, and thin cakes, to make all adhere and conglutinate. Your doctor is an ass. I shall send you one of my notes, and examine you from time to time on my stay in this town.
You oblige me greatly, sir.
What the deuce do you want with this arm?
What?
If I were you, I should have it cut off on the spot.
Why?
Don't you see that it attracts all the nourishment to itself and hinders this side from growing?
Well, maybe, but I have need of my arm.
Oh, you also have a right eye that I would have plucked out if I were in your state of health.
My right eye plucked out?
Yes. Don't you see that it robs the other of its nourishment? Believe me, have it plucked out as soon as possible. You will see all the clear with the left eye.
There is no need to hurry.
Forgive me! I must go. I am to assist at a grand consolation to take place about a man who died yesterday.
A man who died yesterday?
Yes. To see what ought to have been done to cure him. Goodbye!
Upon my word, this doctor seems like a very clever man.
But he goes a little too fast.
Oh, you're right, Doctor.
Cut on my arm and plug out my eye that the other may be better? I should rather it were not better. A fine operation indeed to leave me one-eyed and one-armed.
Brother. Now that you're thoroughly purged of Dr. Pergon, allow me to speak of the Mater Angelique.
No, sister. I was put her in a convent and she rebelled against me. I see plainly now that she has loved this Cleante behind my back, and I've discovered a certain secret meeting which they had in her room, which they don't suspect me to know anything about.
Well, what is the harm in that? Is it so criminal if it leads to an honorable marriage?
Be that as it may, she will be a nun. I have made up my mind.
You intend to please your wife by so doing.
You delight in blaming my wife for everything.
Your infatuation with your wife is as hard to bear as your infatuation infatuation with doctors. You've run headlong into every snare she lays for you.
Madame, don't talk so of mistress. She is a woman with no faults, a person without deceit, who loves master, who loves him. I cannot express how much. Will you let me convince you and to show you how my mistress loves my master? Sir, allow me to undeceive her and to show her her mistake.
How?
My mistress will soon return. Stretch herself full length on the couch and pretend to be dead. You will see what grief she will be in when I tell her the news.
Very well. I consent.
Yes, but don't leave her in despair for too long, or she may die of it. Hide yourself in the cold.
Oh.
Heavens! What a misfortune! One has had a happy day!
What's the matter, Toinette?
Ah, madame!
What ails you?
Madame, your husband is dead!
My husband is dead.
Alas, yes. The poor soul is gone.
Are you quite certain?
Quite certain. Nobody knows of it yet. I was here all alone when it happened. He has just breathed his last in my arms.
Heaven be praised, I am delivered from a most grievous burden. How silly of you, Toinette, to be so afflicted at his passing.
Madame, I thought I ought to cry.
What loss is it to anybody, and what good did he do in the world? It's not worth any trouble. A wretch, unpleasant to everybody, always obnoxious, dirty habits, an enema and a dose of medicine in his body, always coughing, sniveling, sneezing, and always fatiguing people, and yelling at his servants day and night.
An excellent funeral oration.
Toinette, you must help me with my design, and make sure I will make it worth your while if you serve me. It is good that no one knows of his death yet. Let us put him in his bed and keep the secret until I have done what I want. It is not right that I should have spent the best years of my life with him without any kind of reward. Come, Toinette, let us take all the keys.
So, my wife, this is how you love me?
The dead man is not dead.
Oh, I'm very glad to see how you love me. And to hear this noble eulogy you made upon me. This is a good warning. Treat me wise for the future, and prevent me from doing many things.
Oh, brother, you see?
Now, I never could have believed such a thing. But I hear your daughter coming. Place yourself as you were, and let's see how she will receive the news. Oh, heavens! What a misfortune, what a sad accident. What is it, Toinette, and why do you cry? Alas, I have such sad news for you. Oh, what is it? Your father is dead. My father is dead, Toinette? Alas, yes. He died only a moment ago of a fainting fit that came over him. Oh, heavens! What a misfortune. What a cruel grief. Alas, why must I lose my father at a time when he was angry with me? What is to become of the unhappy girl that I am? What consolation can I find after so great a loss?
What's the matter, Angelique?
Alas, I wait for what was most dear and most precious to me. I wait for the death of my father.
Oh, heaven! What a misfortune! After I had spoken to your aunt about our desire to marry, I was coming to see him in order to try to convince him to allow us to marry.
Oh, Cleante, let us talk no more of this. Let us give up all hopes of marriage. Now that my father is dead, I will have nothing to do with the world and will renounce it forever. Yes, my dear father. If I have withstood your will, I will at least follow out one of your intentions to make amends for the sorrow I have caused you. Let me make you this promise here, Father, that I will become a nun and kiss you as proof of my repentance.
My daughter! Do not be afraid. You're my true flesh and blood, and my real daughter. I am delighted to have discovered your good heart.
Oh, what a delightful surprise. Father, now that heaven has given you back, let me throw myself at your feet to implore one favor of you. If you do not agree with what my heart wishes, if you refuse to give me Cleante for a husband, I at least ask you not to force me to marry another.
Sir, let your heart be touched by her entreaties and by mine, and do not oppose our mutual love.
Brother, how can you withstand all this?
Will you remain insensible before such affection?
Well, let him become a doctor, and I will consent to the marriage. Yes, become a doctor, sir, and I will give you my daughter.
Very willingly, sir. If it is all that is required to become your son-in-law, I will become doctor. Apothecary also, if you do wish. It is no small thing, after all, and there is more that I would do to obtain from you the fair Angelique.
Brother, it strikes me. Why don't you become a doctor yourself? How convenient to have everything you want right inside you.
Quite true. That is the very way to cure yourself. There is no disease bold enough to dare attack a doctor.
Sister, I imagine you are laughing at me. Can I study at my age?
Study? What need is there of that? Oh, you're clever enough, and you already know so much because of the maladies you've suffered.
But one will be able to speak Latin well, and know the different diseases and the remedies they require.
Put on the cap and gown of the doctor and learn as you go.
Grow a beard, sir. A beard makes up more than half the doctor.
Shall we then have it done immediately?
Immediately?
Yes.
In my house?
I have a group of friends, physicians, who will come presently and perform the ceremony right in your own hall. It'll cost you nothing.
Well, what can I say? What can I answer?
You'll be instructed in what you need to do in a few words and given in writing anything you need to say. Brother, prepare yourself.
Very well. Let it be done.
Oh, yeah. Then go, get dressed, prepare yourself.
What is this group of physicians that you speak of?
What is it you are going to do?
We are going to amuse ourselves a little tonight, dear niece. I have a friend who has made the subject of the ordination of a doctor into the medical ranks the subject of a new play with music. We are going to play out the roles with your father as the principal star.
It seems to me like you are making fun of my father.
Oh, well, maybe a little. But he believes he is ill. Becoming a doctor will cure him. Let's go get everything ready.
Do you consent, my love?
Yes, since my aunt takes the lead.
teachers and doctors of medicine, those who are here assembled, and you gentlemen and gentle ladies of the court. The spirits of all those who have gone before us, those surgeons, those apothecaries, those faithful physicians, we are gathered here today to confer on one, Argan Baptiste, the most noble rank, and with the title of Doctor. Monsieur Argan will be permitted to the most noble order.
If it so pleases the Lord, the Almighty President of Licensure, Monsieur Argan, you are charged with the understanding of all doctors of the Sacred Order, to all the illustrious assistants of doctors, to seek out the expanse of the seas of all knowledge, to sleep adequately without the aid of opium, and to carry out this oath and this indenture.
I swear to donate my time to always echo the chime and always follow the rhyme.
Jolly, jolly, you're admitted to the order he's afflicted. Welcome, welcome, you're permitted.
By Apollo, by Asclepius, by Hygeia, by Panacea, Monsieur Argan, you are charged to heal the sick, even though you yourself are sick. To live a holy life, to seek the assistance of those doctors more benevolent than you, to break at least once a year from your illness and search out the cleverest of fiends.
I swear to donate my time to always echo the chime and always follow the rhyme.
Jolly, jolly, you're admitted to the order he's afflicted. Welcome, welcome, you're permitted.
By all the gods and goddesses and witnesses here gathered, Monsieur Argan, you swear to treat the sick without causing harm, to not use the knife unless cutting your steak, to instruct your own children in your art, and to be adventurous in all things.
I swear to donate my time to always echo the chime and always follow the rhyme.
Jolly, jolly, you're admitted to the order he's afflicted. Welcome, welcome, you're permitted.
By the mighty Hippocrates and Pythagoras, Monsieur Argan, by joining this holy sacred order, you promise to help the sick and do no harm, to not abuse the bodies of man or woman or child, to hold the secrets of those you treat, unless of course paid a large sum of money, to not administer a poison to any living being, except rats.
I swear to donate my time to always echo the chime and always follow the rhyme.
Jolly, jolly, you're admitted to the order he's afflicted. Welcome, welcome, you're permitted.
Now, dearest Argan, by the power vested in me, by these most learned teachers and doctors of medicine, those who are here assembled, the Lord, the Almighty President of Licensure, by Apollo, Asclepius, Hygeia, and Panacea, by all the gods and goddesses and witnesses here gathered, by the mighty Hippocrates and Pythagoras, I now pronounce you doctor.
Welcome, welcome to the order. Now is doctor with the same disorder. Come ye doctors and see, fill prescriptions by the tree. Little Ollie, cooking books, now don't forget the hooks, and fill your baskets for free. We are grateful to dear Argan, newest doctor with the travel Argan.
May those among ages join us in our praising. Let's avoid the cages and all go stargazing. Now join us, friends, and see fever, sweats, and disease, smallpox and OCD. Let's all go to Manly. What would dysentery in of the decrease?
Welcome now, you have to learn the jargon, wife and daughter, to our dearest Argan. Welcome, welcome, dearest Argan, wife and daughter, wife the doctor is our dearest Argan.
He really was sick.